Hey, it's Allie.
And Gabby.
And we are Devious Dumplings. Let's get steamed. So, this is the steamed part of this podcast.
Yeah, we're just doing a little Minisode debate.
Yeah. And it let me say, it took us, it was almost a debate trying to get to this debate.
Yeah, because
we couldn't figure out what we debate about.
We're so agreeable.
We're not agreeable. We just talked about stuff that, like, we've been able to make the other person, like, not make the other person, but, like, show them a different side of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And we went through a whole list, and we're like, well, we're not ready for this conversation yet, because we want more time to prepare. But this one, we're going to talk about anime and manga. We're talking about Chainsaw Man, because I dropped a bomb on Gabby. I thought Chainsaw Man was okay. I didn't think it was the be-all, end-all. I think it opened a door for anime this year. But I'm so sick and tired of the fucking TikToks. Everything. Actually, I'm sick and tired of everything. Every time you go to con, that's all you see. At the booth, like, for merch, artists, all Chainsaw Man. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying, I need a break.
So, it's oversaturated for you?
Yeah, especially the TikToks, man. I just can't. If someone does, like,
the thing about TikTok, though, is that, like, it's a personalized algorithm. I don't see a bunch of Chainsaw Man TikToks.
I watch a lot of cosplay TikToks, or, like, cosplay groups meeting up, or, like, parties.
Oh, yeah. Stuff. A lot of that is Chainsaw Man cosplay. Like,
yeah,
I get that.
I understand why people do Chainsaw Man cosplay, because it's easy. And not all of it's easy. I'm just saying when they're in their normal human forms, that part is easier.
Yeah.
And I think all of the cosplays are really, really great. I mean, we almost did a cosplay for Emerald City Comic Con, but I told you, I'm like, I just wasn't feeling it.
I wasn't really feeling it either.
Because it's too much. Everybody does it. Like, we saw so many.
Also, the voice cast was going to be there, and that would make more people cosplay that.
Yeah.
And it just...
And Spike's Family. Like, Spike's Family, I really love Spike's Family, but, like, there's so much cosplay of it. And there's not really, like, a lot you could do with cosplay. Like, you'd want to do, like... If we did Chainsaw Man or Spike's Family, I would want to do, like, a twist on it. Like...
Yeah.
Like, make it so weird and unique that people would still know what it's from, but also, like...
Oh, dude, you know what would be cool? Is if someone did an Angel Devil cosplay, but they, like, changed some of the outfit to look like a biblically accurate angel.
Why are you giving away really good ideas on this podcast?
We can cut it out. It's okay.
Alright, cool. But yeah.
And then we could do, like, a... Sorry, we could do, like, an Oni version of Aki.
An Oni? Oh, yeah.
Like, demon, like, part...
I've seen a really glimpse out angel.
A what?
Like, glitz. Like, they put, like, jewels around the eyes and, like, on the wings, like, it's dripping. Like, I thought that was cool. I mean, you know, I send you, like, 15 million TikToks a day.
Yeah.
Since I become a monster on it. But yeah, like, I'm sick and tired of the dance. I almost want to, like, hit people when they do it. Because I was just like, I can't. And I don't want to hear the song anymore. I'm really excited for season 2 of the anime because that is where all the shit's going to happen. Because I've read the series.
I haven't read it. I'm coming from an anime-only perspective with Chainsaw Man.
So you guys all know where we're going.
I thought it was great. I had such a good time watching it. But I've heard from Allie and a couple other people that it gets way better.
And way worse.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it differently.
Yeah. It's kind of like Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen is really, really good, but for a little bit it got very oversaturated.
Yeah, and it's kind of died off a little bit.
Yeah,
and now it's starting to rise again because season 2 is coming out.
Yeah, season 2 I'm excited for. Like,
it's those little dips.
It's gonna kill me, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I had someone ask me, like, they have a Nanami sweater, and they're like, I'm going to Japan, like, if I wore this... Because they haven't read it, because right now they're refusing to read manga, and they're only watching the anime, and I'm like, what have you done? Like, what have you become? Like, what kind of monster is this? But sure. And they're like, if I wear this, like, am I going to be, like, a dick? Because, like, does he do something terrible? And I said, no. Nanami can never do any wrong ever. Like, ever in anyone's lifetime. He is a goddamn saint and most beautiful man. Without spoiling anything.
I am also an anime only with Jujutsu Kaisen, but the thing about me is that even if I'm an anime only, I always know manga spoilers. I don't care about getting spoilers for stuff, because a lot of the time it makes me more excited to, like, get to that point. I know some Chainsaw Man spoilers. I know some Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers.
This is new information to me.
I know. I mean, it's not spoilers because I've actually read My Hero Academia up to, I think, a little bit before the current point. But it's like, I know what's going on there. I don't know. I don't shy away from spoilers unless it's for something that I really, really want to be surprised by. So.
This isn't really a debate, but...
No, it's not a debate. It's
okay.
a discussion. We're retconning this to be a discussion.
Because this is... I mean, when we have our other friends join us, there's going to be debates.
When we get to the Star Wars episode...
it's going to be a debate. It's going to be... We're going to have, like, people in between us.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
people will be, like, holding us back from, like, opposite sides.
Honestly, it's going to be me holding a knife to everybody. Because that's how it went on our game night. Which was me fighting up against everyone.
That was so funny.
Yeah, Gabby's telling me to kill...
Mason was like, is she really upset? And I was like, no.
Yes.
I mean, you were upset.
I'm holding that inside of me.
You were upset, but, like, you weren't holding a grudge against me.
Not against you, but, like, him, yeah. He judged me, and I'm like, I will keep
right,
this
because
forever.
you know, it's not coming from a place of, like, oh, I can't believe you shit that. It's just, like, a, haha.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Like, a point of laugh.
But
not
yeah.
at you.
Gabby did a quote from Palpatine.
Wasn't it literally just do it? Or kill him. Kill him now.
Then he said, kill them all, Anakin.
Kill them, Anakin. Yeah.
Because she wanted the game to be over, because, like, it was dragging out so long, and there's only between 3 of us out of the 5 of us that were there. Because three were in the game, and the other 2 were watching. Yeah, you and Mason were watching. Yeah. And I was getting beat down, and Gabby and I were snapping each other during it from the other sides of the table, and you're like, kill them. Kill them all. And then when Mason said something, she was like, kill him. And I'm like, he's not in the game. She's like, kill him. And she did the voice so well, and I'm like, I'll kill them like Anakin killed the Padawans, except I won't leave any survivors. It got dark. It got really dark, and then we were all just, like, quoting Star Wars.
I can't be told to do an impression on the spot, otherwise I forget how to do it. So, it's like...
One day I'll capture it when she's not paying attention.
Organically, just, like, take it for what it's worth. Because sometimes I do pretty good impressions.
It was so good.
It's always, like, never when I'm planning on it, though. It just happens, and then I can't replicate it.
It's okay. I'll record it one time when you're not paying attention, and then I'll just save it for the rest of my life. That's how you have to,
like, get anything.
I'll save it as your ringtone. Do it. But yeah, so it was a hot debate. So I've lost friends over Star Wars, and it, like, honestly, it wasn't like me coming at them or them coming at me. It's just like a side comment, like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna look at this, and they're like, don't want to be friends with you.
There are people I don't interact with anymore because of how they reacted to, like, the actors.
Yeah.
Like, bullying people off of social media because of the character they played.
Gabby's getting really upset now.
That's, okay.
We're talking about Chainsaw Man. We can't do Star Wars.
Well, I was actually gonna bring this even further away from the point.
Okay, do it.
Where,
come on, see like, where it goes now.
With Kelly Marie Tran playing Rose, and how she ended up deleting her social media because people were being racist and misogynistic to her for a character she didn't write.
I would like to again point out, it's really hard to be in the Star Wars fandom as a woman.
Yes, very hard. Like, not like, oh, woe is me, but it's just like you have to deal with so many tone-deaf old men. White men, white men. Yeah, people were... Okay, we're getting into Star Wars. I'm trying to veer away from Star Wars. I'm
Let me give you my hand. Come out of the pit!
This isn't a spoiler for The Last of Us, but there is a character. I'm very worried for whoever's gonna play her because of how the fan base reacted with the game. That actress is braver than any U.S. Marine. When part 2 comes out...
Are we talking about what I think we're talking about? Because someone told me about...
Major spoiler. What?
Yeah, I was...
Someone told you?
It was fucking Fred.
I hate Fred.
It was Fred and Nick, actually, so blame Nick also, because Nick sucks. He never played the game.
Why would they do that?
Because they're them.
Okay, well
it's
then...
white men, again, ruining everything.
Then, yeah, for Abby, the actress who's gonna play her,
well,
it's because
who plays Joel. It's because who plays Joel.
No, but with the game, the backlash was so severe.
On the voice actress?
Yeah, for Laura Bailey. She voice acted
like that you know
Abby.
all the names. And I'm like, yeah, that person that did this
one,
this one.
And I'm also pretty good with, like, voice actors.
Side note, Allie will be playing The Last of Us in the next couple of days, and she'll take video doing it.
Hell yeah. Eventually.
And then we will play the second half together,
yes.
and I will probably be really pissed.
Probably.
Because...
It's so fucking good, though.
Well, it's kind of like Attack on Titan. Like, with Attack on Titan...
Yeah.
Like, Attack on Titan, like, if Levi dies, I'm like, I'm out. Because, honestly, he is the only reason I have stayed this long. And I loved Aaron in the beginning. I still love him. He was, like, fucking psycho. But I don't like Armin.
I do like Armin.
Maybe that should be the argument for this.
I think if we
we're already
want to veer away from it,
we're already
like...
We already, like, we didn't really argue about Chainsaw Man. We just talked about oversaturation of the market.
It's so hard for me to, like, get into, like, an argument mindset.
Well, you like me. I'm so pretty.
I need to worry about... Yeah, you just distract me so much.
But Armin...
Blinking your big eyes in.
Well, here, I'll tell you why I don't like Armin.
Okay.
Armin cries a lot, and when we first meet him... And, like, when they first fight Titans for the first time in their life as the Survey Corps or whatever, when the Titans break that wall, really inside job, but, like, we'll talk about that later, he just kind of cries, and then a Titan just picks him up and puts him in his mouth. Armin could have got out of that mouth whenever he wanted. Aaron literally pulled him out, threw him back on the rooftop, and was eaten. After many body parts were already taken from him, he saved this little blonde bitch from the mouth. I'm sorry, Armin, like, doesn't have great... Like, he doesn't look like a great character in the beginning, either. And Attack on Titan, I do love it. I do. Honestly, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't have binge read the manga when season 4 started, or right before season 4 started, because I need to know the secrets of Attack on Titan, and you never get any answers in the first... You get some answers, but I feel like you get 20,000 more questions for every answer.
Exposition for the rest of the story.
Yeah, whatever.
But, so...
I like mysteries, but I like it when I know, finally, the end. Like, what's going on. Like, what the shit is. And you do get that with Attack on Titan. I will say Armin in the newer seasons, and later in the manga, has a lot more character development. I just didn't like him in the beginning, and I really just wanted to see him get eaten.
I understand where you're coming from, but I also, I think about criticism people have for Deku or Izuku in My Hero Academia is that they cry too much. I don't think I think it's the same for Armin. You know, he's a 14-year-old being forced into a military regime where giant people like monsters eat
exactly.
people.
We're not in that situation.
Right.
And that's a lot of hate.
Him being shell-shocked and catatonic and almost eaten, I don't blame him for that. I don't get mad at him for that. I think something that they highlight a lot about Armin is how intellectual he is.
He gets braver.
He gets braver. He learns to strategize more. He starts to kind of look up to Erwin.
He gets tougher. Like, he doesn't... Like, you barely see him cry anymore.
Right. And, you know, you could argue that that's because he can't let himself cry because of how fucked everything is.
Well, I mean, season 4, like, how it started with, like, what he did.
Yeah.
That was a lot, and, like, Armin from the past would never
He's a war criminal now.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the other stuff that he did, too, like, does in season 4, like, everything he does is literally going against his whole character. And he does grow up, so I'm just saying, like, start of Armin, not great. And I will say this, though. Him and Annie, that's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry.
There was a TikTok.
They basically looked exactly the same.
One of my mutuals on TikTok posted something about, like, it's like, you will never catch me shipping Armin and Annie because Jarmin exists. And I agree. Jean and Armin, one of my favorite ships. I love them.
I'm not going to say what I read of them, or where I read it, or what style or media it was in, but I was alright with it. Because Gene, when he is in this new part, hot as hell. Before, fucking douche canoe.
Say Gene.
Gene? John?
It's John.
I don't know, I've heard it every other way.
I know, but...
It's John. John Benet Ramsey. Sorry.
Armin killed John Benet Ramsey.
Yes, he did. That was the start of his villain story.
Yeah.
But no, I love Jean, and I honestly, he also has had a really good character development.
His character arc is one of my favorites in
it's
anime
so cool
ever.
And I like that he's
so
still trying
good.
to get with Mikasa. I'm like, dude, you know what? At this point, anybody has a chance. So Attack on Titan should have just been this minisode.
It just took us a little bit to get there.
I don't like. I'm saying it very quietly. I'm not a fan. As a shipper myself, like as someone who ships, and I understand other people ship, and you know I can see it if there's a connection, I can totally get behind it. I think you kind of know where I'm gonna go here, but we talked about the Armin thing. We talked about
maybe I don't know where you're
John,
going.
and I like John.
Yeah.
And I see that ship. I understand it. I've looked at stuff for it. It wasn't bad. It was funny. Just because, like, that, like, situation they'd be in, not, like, them together. Because I'm, honestly, if you're in anime, you, in some form, like yaoi, or boys love, as it's called now. Not a big fan of Mikasa and Eren.
I'm not a big fan of that either. It feels kind of forced.
Yeah, because, like, honestly, he's never really cared about her.
I don't like that, like, they had such a familial relationship. Like, they were basically brother and sister. And that's, like, I know that might just be nitpicking, but to me, I just don't like it because of that. I also think he's such a fucking dick. He's such an asshole. Mikasa deserves so much better. I get, okay, whatever, he was doing it because, like, I don't care what his reasoning was. What he did was fucking dumb and shitty.
Okay. I'm ready to talk now.
Okay.
I'm gonna come up to the mic this time. Leading up to season 4, never got behind it. Not once, because they did not push the issue. You knew she, like, had really strong feelings for him. Yeah. Whether it was love or just she felt like she needed to protect him. She was very protective. Yeah, like a sibling. I never once shipped it. I've never once looked at anything for shipping it. Like, it might have crossed my screen, but, like, honestly, I wasn't there for it. It just kind of happened, and I was like, I do not feel anything. Honestly, if you're going to tell me, like, Mikasa is shipped with somebody, it would be, like, Annie.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
I should Mikasa and Annie.
Because that would make more sense, because they feel like you need tension and chemistry to do something, and I feel like Eren didn't care about, like, he still doesn't care about, like, the opposite sex. Like, to him, it does not matter, because, like, he is just here for his purpose, to be free, and he has so much anger and hate because of, like, what happened to his mom, and, you know, all the fucked up shit you find out later, and you're like, no wonder this boy's got issues. He needs 20,000 counselors. But in this new season, it totally is out of left field. It's all about her in this next half, and I'm like, is it though? Like, do we need to make it about her? Because even in the manga,
it was kind of like more from her perspective.
Well, in this last bit, it is, and it's gonna be also him telling her that, or her, like, finding out that, and I'm like, Eren, what the fuck?
Right, because he, like, takes them all into
He talks to them, yeah. Which, this is not a spoiler. Unless you have never watched Attack on Titan at all.
The end of Attack on Titan has been out.
It's been 11 years, for God's sakes.
Well, for the end. Like, the manga wrapped up in 2021?
No.
I think 2022? When did the manga wrap up?
2021.
Yeah.
2021.
So, like...
End of 2021. So, it's been a while since the manga wrapped up, but if you are one of the people that are waiting for the end, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Because I'm going to be like... Todd Haberkorn, right? Is he the voice actor for Eren?
No, Bryce Papenbrook.
I'm so sorry, Bryce Papenbrook. I did talk with you.
Papenbrook.
I'm so sorry. But he's the voice of Eren, the English voice actor. He has not been spoiled yet for the ending. I told you this because I did it. I interviewed him, and I was like, because I was going to ask him questions about the ending.
Remember.
I was going to talk to him, and he said no, he's like, I go in and I am surprised because I want to learn everything with Aaron.
Oh my god.
He's like, I want to learn
That's
how
cool.
the end comes with Aaron. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know beforehand. I just want to go into it like this.
What
And
a
he
cool
even got
guy.
to meet the author of Attack on Titan at New York City
Yeah.
Comic Con at the end of, well, it was Comic Con or
was last
AnimeCon.
year, I think.
Yeah, in December. And he got to meet him, and he did say, like, when he was gonna meet him, he said, I'm gonna tell him that I do not know. And I said, okay, well, just give him a hug for all of us and tell him, like, thank you. Because, like, he was getting hate on for the end of the manga. Yeah, a lot of people were like, it could have been the greatest manga, but then the ending happened. But then I'm like, you know what? It kind of still was. Because, like, we have never seen an anime like that. Like, nothing, when that came out, there was nothing like that. Like, honestly, how did he even come up with this idea? Like, what the hell is going on with these giant things? And then, if you told Allie in high school, when she first started watching this, that this is where we're going to end up, and, like, this is what the Titans really were, I'd be like, are you high? Like, what?
Like, that makes no sense. What?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd be like, that's where we're going?
That's why a lot of people who get the whole thing spoiled for them don't ever watch it, because when you say it all together, it's like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. But even when you say, like, just the beginning part, people are like, well, that's weird. And you're like, yeah, I don't know why I started watching it. I was just intrigued because it was something different.
It's something different.
Yeah.
And it's good. And
But,
it's also really emotionally draining.
I'm going to say something else. Oh, yeah. When you're in the Attack on Titan fandom, like, when it's on...
Right.
You're good, but then because you have to wait so long, you have to make yourself be out of it. Because then you're not, like, in it.
That's one of the only fandoms that when I read fanfic for it, I'll usually read an AU. Because the real life universe is so sad.
Yes. I always read AUs of Attack on Titan when I read fanfic. Because, like, honestly, if it's in the universe, I have read a couple of them, but not many, and, like, they're sad as hell.
So depressing.
I mean, if you look at the Attack on Titan manga, they always have, like, a lot of lines and, like, really deep shadowing under their eyes, because I'm like, yeah, you'd be fucking haunted. I think if I rewatched it, like, to me, it would be, like, a shipless show, and I'd be, like, because, I mean, in the beginning it kind of was, and, like, the ship was just on the side and something entertaining to do. Like, the fanfic's not good. I've never read one good fanfic of Attack on Titan.
For real?
For real. Because, like, the writing is terrible, but it's because I've also... I have an English degree.
I've read some really good ones, and I have high standards.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have high standards.
I'm just saying, it's like, if I go through my bookmarks, I can probably find some to send you.
Yeah, but, like, I want ship. I don't read...
Yeah, no, I read...
Okay.
I read...
Are we talking my same rating?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like, I read a big variety of
I read, like,
stuff.
2 sad ones. Oh, wait, I'm confusing fanfic with something else.
Oh, okay.
With the what is it, Dojins?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it right.
I don't know how to say that.
Doshins?
Dojins?
Doshines?
Dojinshi?
If you guys know, please tell us the correct pronunciation.
The, like, fan comics.
Yeah,
that are oftentimes smutty.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Okay. I've read them. Honestly, if you're in anime and manga and you haven't seen those,
I feel like
you're kind of lucky, but you're also really naive.
You have to have at least, like, accidentally stumbled upon it.
Yeah. That was me with Attack on Titan. I did not mean to. It just kind of happened, and then I was like, well, what happens next? Not that I was at a dirty part. I was just at a part, and I was like, what happens next? And then there was, like, dirtiness, and I was like, oh... And, like, with fan fiction, or when you read, like, a romance book, you're honestly there for the plot. I'm not there for the smut. But, like, everything that I read for fanfic, AO3, fanfic.net, I always put at that high level rating.
Explicit.
Because, like, then you just get everything. I hate when they censor shit. Because I'm like, what was the point? Because I like it, like... Because I've read some T ones where, like, and then her face is just pressed together. I'm like, I'm not reading
or,
that
like,
shit.
it fades to black.
Yeah,
it's like you're being a pussy.
They don't... It's like talking to a teenager.
Don't pussy
They don't
out
cuss.
on me.
They don't cuss. And then you're like, I'm an adult. I'm going to read the rated M or explicit or mature stuff. I'm going to read it. I read the explicit. Sometimes I flip between the mature. But, like, honestly, it's basically the same thing.
It's not the majority of what I read, but I do read it.
I do, like, AO3 for the tags, though.
They have to be really good.
I've read some really shit... pairing ones of them because, like, I don't know, I just was going through it. Like, my thing for fanfic, for no matter what I'm in, is I will go through and I will just pick out stuff that looks interesting that's short, and then I'll read the long ones later.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not in the mood for, I don't know, 80,000 word fanfic.
We have to talk about your fanfic fail in our fanfic episode. Like, I want you to write notes on it because I want detailed discussion on it.
Okay, yes, I want to... The episodes that I know I need to, like, I want to prepare for the most are the fanfiction episode, the shipping episode, and the Star Wars episode.
Because you know all three of those, I am already ready to go.
Yeah, but I need time to collect my thoughts, cite my sources.
I'm not going to cite my sources. I'm like, my source is me, bitch. My source is me. But I think... I mean, I'll prepare too, and I'm like, that'll make me undefeatable. We have to figure out who we're gonna bring because we can't just do the two of us in these. Like, fanfic, it can be us.
Yeah.
Ship Wars.
We can invite someone.
Yeah, I think that would be a safe...
Someone's
safe.
Because if... I'm not super involved in, like, Ship Wars, so if we brought in someone else who was...
Well, no, I'm in the Ship Wars.
I know, I'm saying that, like, if we had a
like,
third person who, like...
Yeah, that can even us out. Same with Star Wars. We're just going to do multiple parts in different sections, and then we're just going to invite a whole bunch of people over.
Yeah.
Well, one person to two people, because we're not going to exceed 4 unless it's
because everyone likes Star Wars.
Or doesn't.
Or everyone really hates Star Wars.
So we're going to get a mixed bag. But I think I like that we're talking about Attack on Titan, though, because...
Attack on Titan
it's really important, because, like, yes and no for a lot of things.
Yes.
It's not black and white, and there's middle, yeah. So, like, with Levi, I mean, he's universally loved, and the author knew, like, if I do anything to fuck him up. I will say, though, I did like him with... Oh, shit, what's her name?
Hanji?
No. God, no, I don't like that ship at all.
Oh, I don't mind it.
I like Hanji, I don't like the ship. Like, to me, they're just buddies.
I like Levi and Erwin.
No, I'm talking about the girl that was in his squad.
Petra?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I have a really fun story about how I got spoiled for that.
Oh.
So I went to a little con over here in the Northwest, and there was all these Attack on Titan cosplayers, but they had, like, blood all over them and stuff. And they found, like, a big pillar in the hotel, and then they all posed around it. Their death scene. And I have never seen so many people at a con start crying and taking photos at the same time. I think I took photos. I don't know where those photos are. But I was with someone, and they knew what had happened. They're like, oh, you're not there yet? I'm like, nah. And then I was watching it. I'm like, well, this is, like, really cool. But, like, I don't know which one. Because I'm bad with names. Yeah. And I couldn't tell, like, which was which character and, like, which squadron it was. I was like, okay, cool. And, yeah. And then, like, when I finally got to that scene, I think, like, a month or 2 later, I was, like, devastated. Even harder. Because, yeah, Petra, when I see, like... edits of, like, that scene or, like, after that scene when they have to let go of their bodies because they can't bring them with them, and he rips off just like her patch. That was a big thing. And then if you read, like, Levi's, like, story, his, like, little
his backstory,
his little bit of his backstory, like, that's super, like, fucked up. And this is not the first time it's happened to him, but he's never been, like, I don't know, I think Petra was, like, the closest person he's been in love with.
I think so too.
Because like, she really wanted to get married, and she was all about cleaning too, because she really loved him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm an old man, and she's like, no, you're not. And she said, okay, if we ever defeat the Titans, like, if we ever start taking, like, our stuff back from them, I want to marry you. And he's like, I guess he kind of vaguely made the promise to her, is from what we can tell, or he just, like, didn't say no, which I feel like it's didn't say no. And when he comes back, because I know when he's, like, going through, like, the massacre of his, like, squad, the only, like, he does not stop, not once, but with her, it was slower.
Yeah.
It was a lot slower. And then when they had to let go of their bodies because they weren't gonna outrun the Titans with the bodies, he rips off her patch off her arm. And then when they get back into, like, their town, her dad is talking to him.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, like, I really like you guys, like, get married sooner instead of, like, waiting. And it's like, oh, she's dead.
I have some bad news, sir.
Yeah. I read some dojins about them. I haven't read any fanfiction. I literally read, like, 2 dojins about them.
They're cute.
They were alright.
Cute.
Like, I liked her. She was alright. But, like, it sucks that, like, certain people would never see it. But in this new season of Attack on Titan, I'm not spoiling anything. This is just a general thing that, like, is not a spoiler. But they have always said throughout all of Attack on Titan, they're like, our peers who have died for this cause are watching. that are here watching, and they actually do that. Like, they show them. I haven't watched the newest.
I haven't watched it either, but, like, I remember when that came out in the manga.
Well, yeah, and I know in the anime right now, they are... Because, like, a big character just died.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I know it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But, when it happens, I remember when I read it, when this character died, they didn't know that they were dead right away. And then they noticed everyone was there.
I've seen
it wasn't even like you saw their faces, you just saw the backs of them because they weren't looking at her because she was already not in the group anymore. They were watching
what was going on.
The last of like the squad or like the group go on. And like that got me because like that's when I started crying.
I've seen so many upsetting edits.
Yeah, and then just wait till the end. Because there's like a couple more moments I want to say with them. Okay. Or there's, like, one really big one, and I was pissed when it happened, because I'm like, are you telling me this person's fucking dead? And they weren't, but what happened and, like, who they saw and who was right there, but I think when this character just died in the newest episode of Attack on Titan, you got to see Petra, and she was like this, like, and she points, like, I'm holding my finger up to her mouth, like, shh, we're watching something.
Oh, yeah, this is an audio.
Yeah, my bad. You guys didn't get to see any of my hand gestures or my, like, upset, like, standing up, coming at the mic, or Gabby going at the mic.
Or our angry expressions.
Yeah, or, like, how we look at each other and me face-palming. But, yeah, the thing with Petra, like, that got me, too, when I saw her again. Because I was like, shit. So I feel
it feels so long ago.
So, again, like, if we rewatch this, I feel like we'd have completely different feelings. Like, if I rewatch Naruto... completely different, and they're even talking about reanimating Naruto.
What I'll always feel the same watching is Death Note. I'd love to watch Death Note with you.
I'd love to watch it with you too, because I haven't gone all the way through it. I know I got spoiled for some stuff, and I just kept thinking that Light was like such a fucking hoe. Because I thought like he got this one chick who was like an anchor woman to join his group, and I think he slept with her. They kind of like alluded to something, and then I think it was also with a guy too, and I was like, fucking knew it. I totally think
he did with the guy.
I don't know, but maybe it's in my mind. But like again, I don't remember.
I do.
But in the manga, I know like it's very detailed.
I don't think he's into women.
I don't think he's into anyone.
I don't think so either. I think he's like, it's
asexual.
true to the world as possible.
He's true to the asexual. Cause. Yeah, he's true to the cause. If he was gonna be gay with anyone, it'd be L.
It'd be L.
Yeah.
They complete each other.
But I was like, I'm for Misa. That was sad.
I know.
It'd be good. So yeah, thanks for like listening to us go completely off the rails in this minisode, which was supposed to be a debate, which ended up being about Attack on Titan. Well, Chainsaw Man, Star Wars, Attack on Titan, and then Death Note.
Death Note. I don't know. It's
okay.
We veer off track a lot, but it's okay.
It's like being in our brain. This is like a normal, natural conversation because we're making eye contact with each other instead of staring at the mic. Yeah. Except right now we are both staring at the mic like it's another person.
Because we're saying bye and you're.
We miss you already. Like we wish you weren't leaving the conversation because I feel like we're gonna talk about stuff and then we're gonna yell at each other like, save it for the podcast. Don't say it now. But yeah, so thank you for getting like all steamed up with us. I mean, I wouldn't want to eat these dumplings because they'd probably be too hot. I mean, we are really too hot.
Yeah, that was too steamy.
Yeah.
Alright. See ya on the flippity flip.